Hi, how you doing? Okay, this is about the diet. This is part of a playlist that I've made when I realized that when the doctor diagnosed me with a fatty liver, and I'd already studied that the cause of diabetes is a fatty liver. That it's not really the pancreas, but the pancreas isn't working properly because of the fatty liver. And now that I've been diagnosed with that, now it's just kind of making it extra clear what I need to do. So I've come up with a diet that's extra strict. So what I've done with this diet is that I'm still going to use the diet that's the playlist called Angie's Mostly Vegan ITAL Regime, which is really a flexitarian diet that tries to be as vegan as possible, but really often ends up lacto-ovo-vegetarian. So I'm going to use those ideas, but this video is about the adaptations. So like, for example, one of the adaptations is when you have a stir fry, you don't eat rice. You just put the vegetables on the plate and skip the rice. So like if, like, say my son came over and I was making the stir fry for dinner, I would make him some rice and put it on the plate, and then I'd put mine without the rice. So there's both things. There's the Angie's Mostly Vegan ITAL regime, and then there's this diet, which is specifically for me, and it's kind of like it's still part of the same diet, but it's an extra strict version for the purpose of getting rid of the fat in a fatty liver, which is the cause of obesity, diabetes, like a bunch of different really common diseases. So this could be useful to a lot of people. So in this playlist, the first video is me already explaining this. I just gave you a recap of it, of why I'm doing all this and blah, blah, blah. And then there's a bunch of videos of doctors talking and, like the research. So if you've done this correctly, you've watched all the videos in order all through the playlist, and you've got to this video, okay? So what this video is about, okay, so now it's like I've watched those videos with you, and hopefully you've watched them with me. Now, what have we learned? And then now let's create the diet, okay? So these are things that I need that are needed to eat. These are the power foods, the foods that we eat. 1, garlic. So I guess garlic tabs are okay, but it's better just to have a clove or 2 of garlic a day. I've done this before. Once I was lazy, I didn't chop it up enough, and I choked real bad on it. Like, get a clove and mince it up really good, and then swallow it and chase it with water. Do 1 or 2 cloves a day, garlic. Number 2, beef liver, which just kind of shocked me. Beef liver was a more common thing. Like I grew up eating liver, and when I first was cooking for myself, I used to make liver all the time. There were liver supplements. It was a big thing. I haven't heard anybody mention that in a long time. I may or may not incorporate that in. I'm not sure. Number 3, egg yolks. Number 4, sauerkraut. Ooh, I'm glad to hear that. I love sauerkraut. Number 5, bone broth. Number 6, Brussels sprouts. On the bone broth, so I'll leave on the playlist. There's the breakfast. I'll talk about the breakfast in a second, which is a blueberry kale smoothie. The blueberry kale smoothie uses a bone broth protein supplement. So that's in there. Okay. Broccoli. Number 8, kale. And it goes on and on about kale. That's a really big one. Number 9, beet tops. So beets are good for your liver, but the beet tops are good for reducing the fat of your liver. So it's just all around really good. So when you get your beets, buy the kind with the beet tops, and then you pull the the greens off it, and then you wash them and saute them up, and they're delicious, really. Just in like maybe some olive oil or butter and some salt and pepper. They're really good, really good. And then I have a video on my playlist, the flexitarian diet, ITAL regime, on how to do beets. So we'll find that video. Number 10, parsley. Number 11, apple cider vinegar. So have a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar with lunch, which is the meal right when you come home from work. Number 12, coconut oil. Use coconut oil when you can instead of butter and to cook with, just every chance you can. Number 13, sardines. Number 14, turkey. Number 15, radish. So if you've watched the videos, I don't need to explain these because right now, these are the things I learned from the videos. So if you watched it too, you'll go, oh yeah, that was it. Number 16, turmeric, which I have a curry recipe on the playlist, and I will make that, but without the rice. It's one of my. It says it's my favorite dinner. It is. I love it. Oh my gosh. So no problem on the turmeric. Leafy greens. Choline supplement. Fish. Green vegetables. Coffee. Green tea. Walnuts. Avocado. Tofu. Hopefully you're writing these down too. And the last one, use organic. These are things to avoid. Alcohol. So if you watch the videos, I have a Stella Artois beer with my dinner, once or twice or 3 times a week, and I really enjoy it, but no alcohol, not one drop of it, never. Maybe once or twice a year for a really good reason or something, have 1 or 2 beers, but alcohol's no. Like that's like the top number 1 bad guy. No alcohol. Number 2, red meat. Number 3, sugar, like high fructose corn syrup, sugar, just none of the forms of sugar, no. No sugar substitutes. Number 4, which we're already doing. A lot of these we're already doing on the Angie's Mostly Vegan ITAL regime. Number 4, eggs. And now notice the things you're supposed to eat, it said egg yolks. Now it's saying avoid eggs. So really limited eggs. Number 5, fried greasy foods. Obviously that's fatty and that's not good. Number 6, white flour. So that's good because in my diet I use 100% whole wheat. No. Number 9 is grains. So number 6 is white flour, but then number 9 is grains. Grains have carbohydrates where you have to cut the carbohydrates. What we're doing is we don't want to go into, it's kind of like the keto diet. Keto is short for ketosis. Ketosis is the state your body goes into when it's deprived of carbohydrates, when it gets desperate and burns the fat. We don't want to go into ketosis, but we want to bring those carbos down so you're almost in ketosis, because we're trying to burn the fat out of our liver. So no grains, no white flour like it's sugar, like no. And then if every once in a while a meal might, you might need a grain, make sure it's 100% whole wheat, but really, never have grains at all, not rice, not 100% whole wheat. Number 7, too much fruit. So that was an eye-opener. I was eating fruit because I thought that was helping my diabetes. And I just went from diabetic to pre-diabetic, but it's not going to fix this problem once and for all unless I way limit so the fruits that I'm eating has a very low glycemic index, and I'm hardly ever eating any fruit, but yet every day a little bit. Fruit juice. Fruit juice is like eating like 3 of those fruits. Like orange juice is like eating like 3 oranges. It's like out of the question. But fruit juice, no. Even if it's 100% whole fruit juice, no. Number 10, industrial seed oils. You know, like just all the oils. You know, sesame seed oil, all the oils. You know, no. Number 11, salty fish. If you have water retention problems in your legs, which I do. Number 12, too much protein. Okay, so those are things to avoid. Now, here's kind of the end result, thoughts. Number 1, protein sources. The protein sources will be seeds and nuts, mostly walnuts and pecans. Vanilla bone broth protein powder for breakfast smoothie. Fish, turkey, tofu, and limited eggs. So how that works out: A, salmon twice a week. B, sardines once a week. C, turkey once a week. D, eggs once a week. E, tofu twice a week. Number 3, never drink any alcohol. We already said that. Number 4, blueberry kale smoothie for breakfast. So that's the video before this one. Every morning have that for breakfast. Number 5, drink 1 to 3 cups of coffee every day, and then switch to green tea after that. You can still use water, these water enhancers. I have a video on it. But just save that for like when you're going on like a day trip to Salt Lake, or maybe working out or exercise or a hike or something like that. When you pack your water, just make it a water enhancer one. Number 6, cook with olive oil, butter, or coconut oil. Number 7, use Choline supplement. Didn't I already do that? Wait, what happened? Yeah, I don't know. Use Choline supplement. Number 8, eat 3 times before 4 p.m. So that's assuming that you eat your first meal at like between 6:30 and 7. So in an 8-hour period, you only ate 3 times. Okay, and then after 4 p.m., which is when you get home from work, just eat twice, like right when you get home, and then just way at the end of the day, dinner. Number 9, eat a half a cup of nuts and 1 date for each meal at work. Get a tofu, put half a cup of walnuts or pecans in it, and then get 1 date and put that in there and shut that, and do 2 of those for the 2 breaks at lunch or at work. Number 10, have a glass of water with every meal. Number 11, it should seem like you eat mostly vegetables. Like by the end of the day, you think back to all the eating you did, it should seem like you just ate a bunch of vegetables all day. Number 12, use vegan cheese. The one video talks about not eating any dairy products. So use vegan cheese, and vegan cheese has like nothing in it. There's like no protein, no carbos, no nothing. The only dairy you use is butter. And every once in a while, maybe a little ice cream. But I don't know, not very much. Like once a month or something. I have like 2 spoons of it. Number 13, if you're going to have a dessert, get a Granny Smith apple, dice it up, throw it in a bowl, put in some lemon or lime juice, shake it up so it's coated so it doesn't turn brown and it tastes really good. Maybe put a little tahini on it. There's your dessert. And don't do that every day. Do that once, maybe twice a week. Number 13. Oh, I already did that. Number 14. Eat lunch upon arriving from home and have that be a green salad. I have some videos on salads, but don't use the turkey and don't use the cheese, but use cashews instead. So it's like a cashew green salad. And then have with it radishes or beets. And then for dinner, we already went over the different proteins. Remember the salmon twice a week, sardines once a week, all that. That's that applies for dinner. You know, have your salmon and your sardines or your tofu or whatever those what I call the different protein sources like that, and said how many times a week to have it. It adds up to 7. So every week just do that, and that's what your dinner will revolve around that. And if it's tofu, obviously a stir fry, but no rice, no bread. But you can have a 1/4 cup of prunes for dessert every day. And the last one, 16, your carbos. So just a recap. So carbos, pardon me, you'll have blueberries for breakfast. B, you'll have 1 date for both meals at work. So 2 dates. And C, a 1/4 cup of prunes with dinner. And that's it. Those are all very low glycemic index fruits, and you're not eating any grains or anything. That's a really small amount of carbos by the end of the day. So you just ate a bunch of vegetables. So it's a really strict diet. So just like it's all the same rules with the Angie's vegan, mostly vegan ITAL regime. This is about, you know, what adaptations to make. You know, still there's a video on what vitamins to use. Still, you know, use the same vitamins and just, you know, do all the, you know, those things, but make these adaptations. And let's burn off this liver fatty crap.